Mr. Ezell for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and thank you for all being here today. For far too long, the Endangered Species Act, or ESA, has been overrun by federal agencies who implement radical environmental policies, making the ESA stray away from its basic intent to the recovery of species. The current ESA puts a burden on economic development, restricts public land use, and locks habitat restoration. Reform is much needed, and the weaponization caused by bureaucrats in Washington is unacceptable. We must ensure common sense conservation. I'm a proud original co-sponsor of H.R. 1887 and thank Chairman Westerman for his bold leadership and vision on this crucial legislation. Mr. Melito, you mentioned the importance of certainty in legislation and regulation to attract more investment and bolster America's competitive advantage. A critical ongoing aspect of this in the Gulf of America is the biological opinion for oil and gas operations, which NOAA has a deadline of May 21st to complete. Given the numerous ways that both the Gulf region and the U.S. benefits from energy production, how important is it that NOAA complete this biological opinion?
Oh, it's vitally important because we have almost 2 million barrels of production every day, and that's huge. Take that off the market, you'll have a dramatic increase in the price of energy for all Americans. It takes important funding away, it impacts jobs, and we need that biological opinion in place. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to continue to operate. So, we're going to continue to seek the help of Congress and the administration to make sure we don't have that gap. And if I get a chance, I'd like to comment one more time on Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. I think there's some additional facts I'd like to put out there. Thank you.
The testimony details great statistics about the jobs that are supported by the Gulf of America oil and gas productions industry. To list a few, the average industry wage is 29% higher than the national average. An average deep water project produces roughly $3 billion in total direct wages, and during the most active years of a given project, employment can be expected to peak at around 14,400 jobs. Can you expand on the way energy production in the Gulf of America supports individuals and families across the region?
Absolutely, and it's not just the Gulf Coast. We have people throughout the country who are in jobs in companies. Every state in the union, we have companies that support oil and gas production in the Gulf of America. And some will come out from the interior of the country, and they'll fly out, and they'll go out for 3 weeks, come back, go to their families for 3 weeks. But our supply chain is long and strong, and we are supporting mariners, boat captains, engineers, electricians, welders, cooks, chefs, you name it. We need them in the offshore environment. We need those jobs, and we need to make sure that we're creating a pipeline of energy and energy permitting and leasing so that we can continue to provide this energy for the American people and provide these good paying jobs for all Americans.
Thank you very much. Madam Chair, I yield back.
Would you yield to the chair for a moment?
Absolutely.
For the remainder of your time?
Absolutely.
Mr. Melito, you indicated that you had additional information you would like to share with regard to the Gulf of America.
Yes, Chair Hageman. I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a gentleman by the name of Scott Angell. He was the Secretary of the Department of Natural Resources for the state of Louisiana, and he was also the longest-serving director of the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management at the Department of the Interior during the prior Trump administration. He very seriously proposed the change of Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, and he proposed it because it sits between Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida, and it is home to American companies and American employees producing American energy, and also American fishermen, both commercial and recreational, and our military. He did that in a serious way years ago, so there has been serious efforts in the past to do that, in addition to the comedians doing it as well. Just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
Thank you, and I appreciate that history lesson. That's important that we remember those things. The chair now...
Does the gentleman yield the balance of his time?
Yes, he does. They said yes.
Yeah, I'd like to follow up on that. It is really interesting to hear this high-mindedness in regards to how can we possibly rename something when we had military bases being renamed over the last 4 years, when we have statues being torn down or being proposed to be torn down by the previous administration, to all of a sudden be indignant about renaming the Gulf of Mexico, I find ironic. I yield back to the chair.
Thank you. And the chair now recognizes Mr. Wall.